Oh, this one is actually one of the best. Camera is all-in-one.
Wow.
One click, you can actually have the PDF copy being generated. Thermal cameras, they always tell you, oh, you capture an image, you need to go back to your office, connect to your laptop to actually generate the report and also do analysis and be able to share already. So you don't have to go back to your office and do whatsoever changes. It's what we call the instant report generation. The last thing is, it even has an option for super macro lens. We are talking about super macro lens, meaning to say that 1 pixel, it can actually see as small as 30 micron. So of course, near to our hairline, we can also identify. Today, far electrical, I can see. Confined space, what angle I can be able to see as well. If I'm looking at small electronic, I can also be able to see using the same thermal camera, but just changing the lens. Thermography, right? So basically, what really draws me in is that its application. Everywhere we go in this earth, there is actually radiation energy. So of course, using our naked eyes, we cannot see them. But using this particular kind of technology, right, it opens another spectrum and allows us to see even more, you know. So previously, thermal camera is only used for in the wartime, you know, they developed this to actually identify enemies and then shoot them during the wartime. But after the war, people are like, oh, there is no more this kind of application anymore. But who would have thought that actually in the commercial applications, they're so vast. I've been in this industry for more than 10 years, and every time I meet a new customer, they tell us different applications. They try and find out, hey, what can this do and what can this cannot do, right? So even in this 10 years time, it seems pretty long. But to really understand everything, it is a lifelong journey. So in all, right, using this technology, there isn't a day that is boring. Every day there is a new things for us to actually learn. You know, it's a lifelong journey. Yeah. So that's the reason why I think this technology will be here to stay. And of course, we are ready to learn, just like you guys today.
Can you share that moment, right, where you were like, oh, what's this? Kind of interesting. Do you remember?
Yes. So what happened is when I was actually get engaged about this kind of technology, right? People will show, oh, this one can actually identify electrical applications. I'll be like, who give a shit about, you know, hot wire and stuff like that. But then they tell us, you know, we can also detect ghosts. I was like, how can it be possible, right? I said, oh my God, I mean, they tell us, yeah, because we can see surface temperature. But I think ghosts don't have a surface, right? Because human got surface. Ghosts don't have a surface. Then, yeah, but we use intuitively the other way. You know, we go to those haunted places like those Changi area, right? When we look at those kind of haunted places, we saw that there is like a human-like people. But then, oh yeah, I mean, you can see already, then that is definitely a human. Might not be true, you know. Using your eyes, you see is a human. Use a thermal camera and look at it. I plainly tell the customer saying that, okay Mr. Customer, I think our team actually spec in the rock camera for you guys. I said, wow, then how? I say, 2 things you can buy this but then you will definitely get blamed by your boss because eventually you will not produce result. And technology is increasing. It cannot be, Marcus, I've been putting this budget since last year, you know. What happened right now? I told him that no choice, though we have wrong, right? But we are not at the final stage yet. Why not? That day just nice, I got a higher resolution thermal camera. I quickly go back to my car and then I put it over and show it to them. Oh, actually it's around 320 by 240 pixels. During that time, it's very, very high end already. But of course, the prices is even higher. They say, oh, actually this actually meet my requirements. But, well, the one that was spec'd in by my colleague doesn't meet the requirement. He says that, well, Mr. Customer, you need to, you know, no choice, I'll wait another 1 more year. Put up another budget to actually get the correct camera. Because today, you buy this camera, 160 by 20 or 80 by 60, it doesn't meet your requirement. Eventually, this will be your long-time cameras and eventually doesn't meet your requirements. So he also understands that where I'm coming from. So eventually, after the demonstration, which is very demoralizing, I thought it was a very quick sales. Customer also understand where we are coming from. He says that, okay, like, eventually we just need to wait for another 1 more year. No choice. Fast forward 12 months later. Oh, I mean, before that, during the sales review, my boss asked me, hey, Mr. Marcus, people already spec in, then now you go and ruin the whole sales, right? That's it. No choice. It's either I ruin this sales now or I ruin the relationship. Well, during that time, we watch a lot of movies, we need to have integrity, stuff like that. I didn't really understand during that moment. But after 12 months has passed, I've gained more knowledge, right? I found that, okay, although I have lost this sales, but actually I gained some knowledge about being integrity. Fast forward 12 months, in fact, they really bought the higher-end thermal camera. I still remember this customer is doing, it's JVC camera, they are doing those microelectronics for their subwoofer, something like this. So eventually, we actually managed to close the sales. I said, okay, closing this is very normal. But eventually, we even got a special letter from them saying that, oh, we appreciate your salesman being so integrity and eventually be able to actually demonstrate the correct one and be able to wait it out. So all in all, is that what I have learned from this particular experience, of course, is to actually engage customer, not based on the catalog, but rather based on their applications. We sell based on their applications and whether this meet their requirements or not. And to be very honest, electronics components now is very, very common. But during that time, right, it's not very common. Anyone can say that using any thermal camera can actually meet the requirements, but things has been getting smaller and smaller, semiconductors has been getting smaller and smaller. That's why we really need to understand the pixel resolution, what is the application for it, and also the IFOV to actually identify those kind of hotspots. So all in all, what I learned is that to go through integrity, but what customer told me that he has learned is that we do not want to compromise on the price. We do not want to, just because it's expensive, we just buy anyhow to actually just use it. Rather, to actually get the correct camera that meet their requirement first. Then yes, let's talk about price later on, right? So there's a bit of story about me. Eventually, it is, I always title this integrity sometimes costs the sales, but then it won a lifelong customers. So until today, I still talk to the customer. Always talk about this story. Okay, a little bit introduction about myself. I have around 10 years experience in the infrared world. I'm a level 2 certified thermographer, and I'm also the official contributor to SSTR119. This is actually the Singapore standard for water facade, water CPS inspections in Singapore. You guys can go and Google this, and then probably if you guys want to understand the documents, you can actually get it online, right? Okay. So let me see, hold on.
Crazy. It means that this is like a phone on the camera itself. The sensitivity of this thing is really impressive. It's so sensitive. You can see veins.
If you ask me what are the applications, right? Well, they will be massive. If I'm going to say everything, I'm going to sign an NDA.
So it's all in one. You can shoot, you can do your report, everything on this thing. A wide range of lenses up to 1500 degrees. Surprisingly, the weight is not too bad. It makes it very easy to handle. Controls are very easily accessible. Everything can be done with just one hand. Of course, you can use your other hand for the touch screen. So that is the unique part that we'll dive into more later.
I'm going to try to be faster than you.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Hello and welcome to our very...
Okay, so if you guys want to continue, please spend another 46 minutes at your home on your own sweet time before you sleep, right? So what do you guys realize from this video is that we just created this morning. We wore the same clothes. If you look at it. So we actually we actually wore the same clothes. But of course not this morning. Creating this video takes a few months. A few months, right? Okay, let me just
First video so long.
Alright. So of course, let me bring it back. So of course, instead of you guys looking into this YouTube channel tonight, right? I'm just gonna give you guys a refresher, right, about what this camera can do. There's 5 unbeatable features that this currently rating RT630 can do. So one of it is actually to find small problems fast. So you see, during my first time, I talked about resolution so much, right? We are talking about when we want to identify how do we choose the best thermal camera. Of course, the higher the resolution, the better, because we can use it for electrical applications or even go down to electronics and to see macro size applications. And you can see by using one touch button, right, we can actually focus this. We can focus the camera as well. The second applications the second features is that it has a massive screen up to 5-inch. Not a lot of camera can. Of course, the one that you have doesn't have that as well. It is massive. Right now, technology is coming already. I mean, if there's a new iPhone 5, iPhone 17 now, if the iPhone 18 is even bigger, everybody gonna go and buy it as well. So massive screen is a new normal in this world right now. So of course, having big screen, we also have to be able to carry, like using a one hand handle, we can use it, and also we can also capture steady pictures as well. Third, we do have this so-called, it's not trademark, we call it the thermal glide. It is so intuitive that if we were to, it's a touchscreen device that when we touch on the thermal, we can actually see exactly doing the picture-in-picture and also be able to do an overlap. So whatever, when sometimes we look at the hotspot, we can only see temperature. We do not know what is it, right? So we can actually move it away to actually identify the small little changes in terms of digital image, because there is a built-in image as well, right? Oh, this one is actually one of the best. Thermal cameras, they always tell you, oh, you capture an image, you need to go back to your office, connect to your laptop to actually generate the report and also do analysis. This thermal camera itself, right, one click, you can actually have the PDF copy being generated and be able to share already. So you don't have to go back to your office and do whatsoever changes, right? It's what we call the instant report generation, right? Like I say, this thermal camera is all-in-one. It meets all the requirements. The reason is because today, if I wanted to identify a temperature image that is very far, right, I can actually change it to a telescopic lens. Or if I'm confined in a very small electrical rooms, right, due to the condition in Singapore, we are all very confined, right, I can actually change it to a wide angle lens. So I do not have to, sometimes the wall and the electrical panel is just this size. I do not have to, put this thermal camera to be at the wall and then I do not know what am I actually seeing. Rather, I can actually use a wide angle lens, I can actually see everything. The last thing is, it even has an option for super macro lens. We are talking about super macro lens, meaning to say that 1 pixel, it can actually see as small as 30 micron. So of course, near to our hairline, we can also identify. So of course, today we are not identifying those hair loss or whatsoever. Rather, for electronic application, it can be done as well. So for a semiconductor industry, it is very versatile. Today, far electrical, I can see. Confined space, wide angle, I can be able to see as well. If I'm looking at small electronic, I can also be able to see using the same thermal camera, but just changing the lens. Okay, so these are the 5 unbeatable features of this thermal camera. So all in all, it has a 640 by 512 resolution, 25 Hertz. Other brands, right, like from the Europe or from the US, right, anything that's higher than 9 Hertz, they would require an export license, which sometimes take around 4 to 6 months to actually get delivered. Well, for this one, good news is that it doesn't require export license and it is actually very fast, up to 25 Hertz. Meaning to say that if I want to capture a video, right, in 1 second, I have 25 data points, right? And it also has a temperature range up to 1005 degrees. Of course, anything under earth we can actually see. Even on firefighting, we can also be able to see as well. It is very user-friendly. If you look at the YouTube, then you will understand. And of course, it has this multiple lens for very, very dynamic application. All right. So who are the key users of using this RT630? Of course, electrical inspectors, because today their electrical might be very, very far. Those are high voltage one, right? They cannot be very near due to the safety and hazardous protocols. Or rather, if they want to look at building inspectors, they also want to see very far as well. They will identify. R&D industrial professionals also can use that because they are likely looking into very, very small and tiny pixels. And also it comes with a software that allows people to analyze using the laptop. Of course, those people that's on site, because usually we want to have everything be able to handheld, because those that's mounted like CCTV type, we cannot be on site to actually take a measurement. All right. So these are the few applications. Water seepage applications, small little electronic applications, buildings applications, and all those. Also, those are high voltage electrical can be used as well. Of course, today we always talk about how good is our camera, right? We will also do a bit of comparison, right, with another brands. So if you guys know about this brand called Fleur, there is this particular model is actually directly competing with this Fleur E96. Of course, the advantage, I would say, most prominent one would be it has a 13 megapixel on this thermal camera, meaning to say that the time when we were doing the swipe, right, or during the picture-in-picture, it can actually see very clear. Even on a thermal camera, but the visible light camera is also pretty good as well. It has a up to 5-inch OLED screen. It runs on Android, very, very seamless. And another thing is, being so big, right? People usually doesn't have, sometimes lady might not have a so big strength, right? They can actually, there is what we call the intelligent image stabilization, meaning to say that even if you were to shake a little bit, it will still be able to capture very clearly without those shaky motion. All right. So this is the RT630, which is the autofocus thermal cameras, the one that I've shown here. So of course, I think from yesterday onwards, Marcus also shared about this RM series. This RM series is slightly lower end. It also meets most of the requirement. It's just that it doesn't allow you to change the lens. It doesn't have so many dynamics, but rather it is pretty light. I'm sure you guys have used it for this yesterday. One of the advantage is that the price point is pretty attractive compared to other brands like the TIS75 Plus and also the Fleur E54. Of course, if you were to ask me, Marcus, why today you only show about the RT630? If I have even higher budget, I want to see way, way better. There is another form factor. If today, because this one is what we call the pistol grip, which is a one-line sight. What if I wanted to see something that is very low? I cannot be, kneeling and actually looking at it. We do have another thermal camera pretty similar to this kind, which is the RS600 series that allows you to actually see from the top and be able to measure. It doesn't require you to actually have a one-line sight. Rather, 90 degrees is fine, right? So similarly, if you compare side by side, right, all in all, our resolution detector is always slightly higher. We have a 640 by 512. The 512 versus the 480 has around 10% different in resolution. Of course, the higher the better, right? And in terms of the intelligent image stabilization is also one of the key features as well. So 640 by 512 is not the end. We have even a slightly higher one, up to what we call the megapixel, 1280 by 1024. We can even take a movie and put on cinema using this thermal camera. But of course, no people does that because not everything have heat as well. So this one is actually competing with a Fleur T100. The difference is in terms of the resolution. All in all, right, when we compare between side by side on these two thermal cameras, right, rating actually has its own edge advantage, right? Okay, enough about specs. So many numbers are also very boring. Talk about this one, right? So next thing, let me share a little bit of what are the things that we have done, like just now Marcus said, some project references that we have done. Like I tell you, every day is something new. Today, NUS people wanted to identify facade temperature study. They want to look at their buildings and to see whether growing more trees and actually painting using different, like maybe Nippon paint or whatsoever paint, right, will actually help to reduce the so-called global warming. So how do they identify? They cannot be taking a thermocouple to measure every time. So what happened is, we actually install a 24/7 thermal cameras. Every 5 minutes, they capture one image. And one image, when they capture, right, is a radiometric information. They actually store in the storage. And from that, they can actually allow the R&D personnel to actually do an analysis over time. This is a 3 to 5 years project. We are entering the 3rd year now. They are actually looking into expanding it to maybe up to 4 to 5 years. So all in all is that, if you look at, it seems pretty easy, just take a thermal camera would do, right? But the challenges that we have on this is that mostly is because these are at 24/7 under the rain and shine. So given the hot temperature, we cannot actually allow a thermal camera to be in this kind of exposed area. We need to have this sort of special casing, and even, as you guys know, thermal camera cannot penetrate any object. Even I want to see the glass to measure outside, I cannot do it. So we have a special glass, this kind, which is a custom made to actually allow this to penetrate and measure the temperature. So these are the few little things that our team will be able to do as well. On top, we also did some software for them. It's a customized software for them to actually extract the data and send it to the cloud. All in all, there's around 6 cameras being installed there, and touch wood, until now everything's still okay, because we even need to top up the internet access for them to actually send the data over every month, right? So this is one of the project reference that we find that is pretty interesting to share. Another very interesting thing is we also work with Mandai Wildlife Zoo, not only to identify temperature reading, rather to actually see. Because what happened is, why Mandai Zoo want to invest on thermal cameras is, they can just put CCTV, right? But CCTV cannot see in pitch dark. So they will ask, Marcus, I got no choice, I got money, I want to spend. I say, no one in the right mind will want to spend money. One of the biggest pain point that they have is that their management, when they go to Google review, they always see a lot of people complain, hey, where are the animals in night safari? I cannot see animals, you guys scare me or what? I'm sure you guys have been to night safari and then you say, there's no animal there. Because those are nocturnal animals. They only come up during the night. And because of those, animals can see during the night. But for them, right, they cannot, human cannot see. So what happened is, they actually asked us to install thermal camera to show the customer that we are not scamming them. Because the thermal camera can actually identify those animals because there's a radiation there. Of course, we are not only identify animals, we are also doing additional stuff for them to do animal counting, to actually count how many animals come out. Whoever we're going to go to Google review and complain about us, we're going to show it to them. We actually have animals. We are not scamming you guys, right? Just that you guys cannot see. If you guys can just, get your own thermal cameras. But it still doesn't make sense because usually there's the glass panel there. We cannot see through one. That's why our thermal camera has to be inside the exhibit. Yeah, very interesting. If you guys go to Night Safari, can just take a photo of this and show it to me. This is our project. It has our branding there as well. Okay. Other applications that we have is, of course, for the during COVID, everybody is scrambling around to actually identify, to actually get thermal cameras for their patients. For their employees to ensure that everything is safe and is safe to operate the work, right? A bit of fun fact about this particular, I think this is just opposite this building, the Singapore Post. Right now they didn't have it because COVID has already long gone. We deployed this during a Sunday morning. And I still remember I was one of the deployment team, right? And I was in my sportswear because I told them I cannot miss my badminton session. You must let me go. Then no problem. It's okay for you to actually take a sportswear and come and do the installation. And then you go for badminton. If any issue, we'll call you. Because we got no choice. Because we just got engaged just overnight. We need to turn around everything to be able to actually install. Well, pretty exciting to work on a Sunday, right? And of course, we also have deployments during after hours. Because if we do it during the normal hours, right, there will be too many people, too distracting as well. Right? Okay, and we also supply thermal cameras. So like I say, thermal cameras not only to identify temperature, to see humans, but also to identify hydrocarbon gas. So in oil and gas industry, right, they actually use thermal cameras to identify those kind of leakages for safety reason and also for cost saving reason as well. So the fun fact about this is that I went to these overseas customers. All of the participants there, right, when I was running the presentation to them, they didn't even know they actually bought this already. Because the boss is the one that bought it, and those guys were like, oh, so are we buying this or what? Actually, today is the delivery day. Actually, yeah, eventually they didn't even know they actually bought this. All right, some fun facts about that. Well, a lot of participants in those MNC, they don't even know what's going on. Speaking of oil and gas, we also deploy before thermal cameras for oil and gas industry. You can see all of this setup, right? It seems pretty similar like the NUS one, but this one camera, right, can be as costly as a few cameras that we deploy in NUS. The reason is because this is in this kind of Jurong Island, right? It requires to have this kind of PE to actually ensure that everything is X-proof, integrally safe as well. We also did a deployment. Other than that, just I did mention about macro lens, right? We also supply FLIR cameras back in the days, because these particular cameras itself has to be very, very near to the object that we are measuring. Imagine this whole thing, right? It's actually a vacuum. And this particular glass piece, right, is actually a special substrate that allows thermal camera to actually see through. We are actually seeing what we call the MEMS device that require to be as small as 3.5 micron per pixel. So really, really very small. Hairline can also be seen as well. So take a guess. How much does this camera cost? Any answer is acceptable.
Don't worry, you're not paying.
Just take a guess. Just take a guess. One camera, yeah. $200. $200K. 200K. Singapore dollar. Singapore dollar. Any more? Seems like it's very hard to take a number out of our head, right? You are pretty close. I will give you discount. It's not 200K. It's around 100 plus, up to 150K. For one particular thermal cameras. But of course, you ask me, Marcus, come on lah. This one is around less than 20K, less than 15K. Then this one 200K, I buy this one, my is better, correct or not? But of course, this one, why so big, right? It's because there is an aircon, miniature aircon, cooling system to actually allow this to go to a very, very low temperature so that it can actually see very, very high sensitive images and also be able to see very, very small. So it's a small little inbuilt aircon in this particular thermal cameras, which we call the cool camera. Yeah, what was it?
The cool camera have the compressor inside.
There is a miniature cooling system inside. Yeah, there is when we.
You should have some small compressor inside the.
Yes, correct. So when we were to turn on this thing, right? This one, I just press one button, I take maybe 10 seconds. It can actually see everything. For this one, you take 3 minutes. Pay 150K to actually wait 3 minutes for it to actually fire up. Or sorry, not fire up, cooling down. Because they require to be very, very cold in order to see the kind of specification, the kind of application. Of course, this kind of applications is not day-to-day applications. It is a very specific requirements.
Could be the electronics cooler.
If I am not wrong, it is. I'm not sure what is the cooler. We only know that there's a fish inside. That's what we know. Well, of course, Last time, there is no uncooled cameras. Back in the days, let's say I'm talking about 30 years ago, right? All thermal cameras is easily six-figure one. There's no such thing as less than $1,000 one. Because when they created this thermal camera, it has to be used for war, for far detection. We are talking about 2 kilometers away to actually identify those. And those cameras has a cooling system inside. Okay? So that's it about the project reference that I have. Let me just share a bit of what are the range of products that we have. I think we brought a serverless here. After this, you can also have a look at that. So we don't only, today I talk mostly about this RT630. The reason is because I think for electrical applications, it is very suitable. And it's a very dynamic application that meets most of the requirements on thermal imaging camera. We don't only have that high-end camera, we also have attached on thermal cameras, attached on smartphone. We even have those wireless attachment camera on smartphone. Even have those pocket cameras. But of course, all of these are pretty low resolution. Who would actually use that? Mostly are those technicians that actually need to go on site every day to actually do a quick snapshot and then to report. It is not a decision-making thermal cameras, rather it is just to capture an image to identify whether there's hotspot or not. Okay? Of course, we do have the Pro Series one. The one that you see on the left, professional grade, is the RM series. Of course, we also have the RT series that has way more features. And another type of form factor, which what we call the flexible thermal imaging camera. Okay? Other than handheld, we also have those mount-on type for different requirements. Let's say they wanted to actually use it for R&D applications or even to mount to their electrical applications to actually identify the temperature over time. This kind of thermal cameras doesn't have a screen, very portable, and it is meant for 24/7 monitoring system. Other than that, we even have firefighting thermal cameras to actually, well, it is mostly used by those vessels, the SCDF team. One of the reasons is because you ask me, hey Marcus, this one also can use for firefighting. But the thing is, if I were to use a firefighting, I would require to see up to very high temperature. Usually on this kind of standard thermal cameras, one thing is that when there's a fire and there's a human, I probably can only see the fire. The human will be very invisible to me, very transparent. But using these thermal cameras, right, which is for firefighting applications, they are required to see fire and human at the same time. That's what they call the mixed gain applications, which is some algorithm inbuilt inside. So why do we actually not only want to look at fire, also want to look at human? It's because we need to save those people. Probably those victims, we need to drag them down. So it's very important for a thermal camera, for firefighting, to be able to see both human and also fire at the same screen. Okay, speaking of the gas camera, we also have this kind of handheld thermal cameras to identify those small little leakages. Okay, and about hobbies, we do have thermal cameras that actually can use it for, well, similar applications to the Mandai Zoo. Those are what we call the thermal monoculars, thermal binoculars, to actually see in complete darkness. Okay? That's it about that. These are the few client reference that we previously supplied to. And these are the brands that we actually currently carrying more actively, right? So basically, Next Instruments is the main, we don't only sell thermal cameras. Today, I will show you a lot about thermal cameras because today we are in IRT. We also have product solutions that supply them, other than thermal cameras, like those multimeters, ultrasonic flow meters, sound meter for different industry. We also have certification course. Of course, we work with IRT to have these level 1, level 2 courses to our customer. And other than that, we have calibration and repair service. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. So now I need your time to actually bring up your smartphone and book, scan on this, and book your customized demo today. Okay, only if you need, right? Yeah. So of course, if you guys have any questions after this, because you can actually scan this, and then you guys can just fill out the form. You guys need to have a customized demonstrations. We'll be there to actually understand your applications and also to propose the correct thermal cameras for you. Yep. Thanks for your time. Yeah.
Do you have any demo you can show us with your this camera?
Oh, yes, I do. But before that, yeah. Hold on a second.
So you have to, is it wired or wireless?
Wireless.
Okay.
Let me to start it up. Yeah.
So if you all see, this camera is startup, right? There was a Snapdragon logo and it has its own OS. This one has Android. It uses a form of an Android OS.
Let me just find. I think there's a lot of electrical device.
20K.
For this one, it really depends on what type of lens you require, but the base price is around 10, 11K with the standard lens.
That's cheap.
For these specs, very hard to find. In general, right, the Fluke and Fleur, right, is about double the cost of this.
You see, if not, then we can use the. Oh,
Can I?
can.
Oh. Okay. Wow. That's really sharp. Okay, but then I like the orange, purple, but here black, white.
Yeah, we can change.
Okay.
Where do I change?
So this one is currently using this direct Wi-Fi, is it?
Yes, correct. So I'm not sure about other thermal cameras. Right now, whatever you guys are seeing, I'm actually using a wireless hotspot to connect to this particular thermal camera. And it can actually see immediately already. On top of that, I can also have this temperature curve. I can even plot a temperature plot. Every second, I will be able to identify the maximum and the minimum temperature as well. And all of this can be exported into Excel. This is only on video. Yeah, so you can see the graph also changes accordingly. If I want to change to different color palettes, we can also do that. If I wanted to add, yeah, because I'm measuring it's a black body, right? Or it's a hot box. Yeah.
So now if I point at somebody, then it should drop, right?
Yeah. And I can.
Yeah, so the box was like 40 over, now it dropped to the 37 or 30 something.
And of course, if today I were to change, have they studied the emissivity already?
Yeah.
So basically, if I want to change the emissivity, right, it can be done as well. Oh, let me see the parameters. Oh, I think we can also have alarm linkage whenever they exceed a certain temperature as well, to have sounds and even get it to export. So these are all the features that this camera have. Like I say, it is not only a handheld thermal cameras, but also be able to do those kind of continuous monitoring cameras. So in a company, in a semicon company, right? Today, if they want to look at very small object, they can use a macro lens. Let's say the facility say, hey, I do not want to see so small, I want to see further. I can change it to use a telescopic. And if today a thermal, another electrical applications guy, right, they say that, oh, I wanted to actually capture all the image on our electrical DB to do a baseline study. I can also do that. Because eventually I can also generate a report with different, with image and also digital image, right, to actually identify what are the baseline that we actually have.
Do you bring any extra lens?
Unfortunately, don't have. This one only have the standard lens today with me.
What about how do you generate reports?
Oh, yeah. Let me show you guys. So on generation of report, right? Let me just take one.
And can also demo how to do the report on the camera itself.
Okay.
Because that will be super convenient.
Yeah. So let's say if this is the image I actually captured, right? It is already stored, and I just need to import it into this software. So let's say if I wanted to identify a few, let's say I want to look at this circle, this rectangle, and the few points, I can easily export it. They will actually ask me whether you want to have thermal and visible or only the thermal. Let's say I want both. Okay, for this one, for some reason, this one cannot move. Can I do a duplicate instead? Because this one I don't know why I cannot move. Project, yeah, duplicate. Maybe PC screen only, I try. Oh.
I try to be.
We always have this issue. Oh yeah, don't know for some reason.
Well, then you cannot drag.
Cannot drag.
No.
Not drag. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Maybe I try another software.
You can try to drag.
Cannot also.
So it appeared on his laptop, it's just that trying to move it to this projector.
TI Studio. Hold on 1 second.
In the meantime, if you have any other questions regarding this camera, you all can feel free. Yes.
What's the AI portion you mentioned?
You want to know more about the AI?
Is it a report or in the analysis?
The AI is in the camera itself. Yeah, at the moment. So at the moment, it's kind of basically, which is why I say it's very early days. It's basically a Chinese ChatGPT on the camera. The extent of it right now is that it can, you can ask it like maybe questions. Say for example, if you got, oh, what is visibility? It can explain to you. You can also do some basic settings change by like, so for example, you ask the camera, change my E value to 0.6 or change the balance. Let's see here.
Siri
You need to talk Mandarin.
Maybe you got better answer than you.
Maybe it has, you know.
So this one is using the DeepSeek or what?
I think it's DeepSeek. I think it's DeepSeek, yeah. But of course, okay, today the one that I brought, right, this one is called Infrared. Now they has actually changed name to call the Rating. So this is not the latest model, not the latest software. But I think it's still, it might not have the AI model yet. But this is just for the demonstration purpose to show you the resolution.
Are you able to project to show the AI function?
Let me try.
Okay, you press hold the AI button.
Yeah, I think this one cannot. The Rating can.
Oh.
The Rating can.
Oh, okay.
You get what I mean? Yeah.
This one is like demo model.
I think DeepSeek for English also quite good.
Yeah.
We did. So what happened is, me and Marcus, both of us tried. We say, okay, please change the color palette to white hot. Jing jing, then it changes. They said, oh, please change the emissivity to 0.3. Jing jing, then it changes. Like, please capture an image, then it capture. But of course, still early days. We have our fingers, so we still use that.
But they got the AI button here, so stand by already. Stand by the button.
Yes.
Next time maybe, I think, you know how AI works, right? You need a large data set of information. You feed it with, wow, you're in this room, but how many IR images to feed into the AI already? In due time, this thing can help you identify what's the, like you can cover your eye, you just scan, then it will just tell you, oh, this part of the problem. And over time, it might even tell you what is the part. Even if you don't know what you're looking at as a technician, if you don't know what component it is, this one probably can identify the component for you in due time. All the image recognition is slowly getting better.
I just personally think this way. Because right now what you explain is a speech package.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not on the
Yeah.
If they go online and their learning module is within the analysis module, which I believe can be done online, then it will start to learn. Example, this thermographer under this account, all the data that he can spit out and his habits and everything, and that might improve a lot in schools for what is also.
Because newer models like this, right, they have SIM card already. So even if your area may not have a Wi-Fi connection, say you're at some facility, maybe that site doesn't have Wi-Fi. Right now there is SIM card already. So the report that he's demonstrated, right, that's on the camera can email from the camera itself. You don't even need to export it. In a situation where you're like, oh you're in like some ulu country, then the factory, your office so far away, then you need to get this to your customer, you can just send from the camera itself.
I will ask two questions.
Yep.
Just to check. This is the expert series.
Correct. Expert series.
So that one, the smaller one is the Pro series. So just no offense if I get it wrong. Then your report generation module only comes with the expert series.
Yes. This generation report can be created from that as well. As long as you capture an image, you put it to the software, it will be able to generate a report for you. Even on the low-end series as well. But if you want to generate report directly from the camera, only this model can.
I see. Then what is the price difference? Yeah, we hear this one is expert series about 11.
10, 11, yes.
What about the Pro series?
That one is around 5 to 6. Yeah. So there's a main difference. So people will ask me, wow, Marcus, in terms of the resolution, right, they are both the same. What are the key differences? First, this one has the autofocus. You press one button, it allows you to focus. Secondly, this has bigger screen and has a better screen. Though it is a same detector, right? Eventually, we also, just like today you go and buy a Blu-ray CD, but you use a non-HD TV to watch it, right? It will not be very high definition as well. That's the second thing. So this one has the better screen, bigger screen. And thirdly, this has the flexibility to change the lens.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the main requirements. A lot of customer, right? Because the price difference is one time. To be honest, today, if I really want to save money, I can actually use that just use my hand to focus, no choice because the price is half. But a lot of customers, they are very intrigued by the changing of the lens. Because the changing of the lens, right, you buy one, imagine it is cheaper for you to buy that two already. Yeah.
So this is the one that you can mount a tele or you can change
Correct.
to suit the condition.
Yes, you are right. It can be macro lens as well. So a lot of our customers like SimTech and US, right, they really need to see something very small. That one just can't meet their requirements. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. So this is the report that it can generate out. Of course, there will be informations over here. From there, if we want to add our logos, we can add logos. Or if we want to change those topics or title, right, we can actually do that. Once we are done with it, we can actually just export it into. We just put it in the desktop.
This software free, right?
Yes.
Is there any subscription model?
No, there's no subscription. It's even if you don't buy the camera, you can still download the software. It's free, but just that you don't have images. Not like other brands now. They are starting to go for those kind of subscription mode, which means you need to pay like annually, just to keep the software. And when we talk about subscription mode, it's not very pro customer. Reason is because you can only use one laptop. For this, you can buy one camera, you can 20 sets, you can actually download it. Means you can have one on-site personnel capture, send it to 20 people, they can do the report for you. Whereas for that, right, let's say you buy 2 cameras, the software is only given you one. You need to pay for it annually.
The layout can customize.
The layout is pretty fixed already. Yeah. So this will be something like this. It will be something like this. But of course, this is only on one images, right? If you want to add text, information, all can be added here. But if you want to change things like, let me see.
Is there Microsoft Word?
Oh no, there is no Microsoft Word. The reason is because they do not want you to temper the information as well. So let's say if today you have a few images, right? You will have these few pages. It can be done. Up to a few hundred pages also can. So because usually people that uses that, they measure on so many different electrical panel. They capture, click one button, then they have multiple reports. Okay? So that is using that. Let me see if I can do it here. Go to the gallery. Oh, actually have also.
So even just now that camera over there, was it Pro series, right? Is it Pro,
Yeah, Pro,
and Extra,
yeah.
right? Pro 5K for 640 pixels is incredible value.
Yep.
We ask people to consider brands like this, right? If Fluke and Fleur is not a must-have, because we understand some companies they're like, they're a big company, they only trust the bigger brands, Chinese brands, or a bit difficult for them to agree to. But then if that is not so much an issue, strong consideration are all these are becoming Chinese brands.
Correct. So just now, you were saying about creating a general report can be immediately. This is the report generated already. Yeah.
So maybe we just turn this around.
Yeah, so these are the report being generated immediately. But of course, you do very limited stuff here because you don't really actually, in fact, actually, if you want also can, because the screen is pretty big. You can actually capture image, then you can actually scribble or whatsoever, right? Then once you are done with it, you can generate into a report, into PDF, internal memory. Also have an SD card. If you want, you can just export it out. It will be in a PDF format already.
What's some of the most surprising things about this range and even this camera that customers initially when they first hear we think what brand is that, and then they were surprised later? What are some of the features?
To be very honest, I think it's because of the large screen and the OLED. The screen is very high resolution, and secondly is it's very intuitive. You know, I always like to show this slide to my customer. One of the most wow thing is actually this one, what we call the thermal glide. This thermal glide. So when they see this, we don't only require to look at the thermal, but rather we can also change the digital as well. So these are the two most, one of the most, and for R&D, for electrical applications, they love this one because they can see electrical wiring. They see which color is it, right? They go to digital image, then they can be able to identify. For R&D personnel, well, they are, okay, I'm okay with this, but they really love the capability of changing lens. Changing the lens to super macro lens. Yeah, and the changing lens is that within a few seconds or within 30 seconds, you can do it.
Yeah, this one was quite surprising for me because most cameras is like fixed in the middle. So just to give you like some context, you get to see the the image behind. But then this one you can look at it, and then sometimes you're like, hey, what is the thing? Okay, you move out. You say, oh, which part is it? You move it out, then you move back in. Oh, okay. Like that, then you have to like manually move it around. So that was quite good. The other thing that surprised me, you hear in the video, right, is that when you mentioned to me that, hey, this one is Android inside, I was like, really Android inside, confirm very laggy already lah. You know what processing speed need how much? Then you use it you're like, oh, click. Everything's changed like really smooth. So I was quite impressed by that particular thing. Yeah.
The macro lens should be very useful for the motherboard troubleshooting repair.
Yes, you're right.
Even use the normal lens, I use my company one, so I repair a lot the motherboard for the smartphone.
Okay.
This one for usually the motherboard, the big short. Usually it's a capacitor short.
Yes.
So usually we quite difficult because so many components, so small.
Yes, correct.
Difficult to find which component is short.
Correct.
This one very fast, immediately.
Yes.
Find the whole,
Correct.
yeah.
But of course, macro lens, you need to mount it near to the distance. So it's pretty seamless, everything. Especially when the whole workstation, you have the thermal camera here on your motherboard, right? Then you can actually connect it to your laptop. Then from there, you can actually see already immediately from the big screen.
This one this feature are very good.
Yes.
Which component hot, I just move, right?
Yeah.
Very good. But of course, this one for personal quite expensive.
For personal, yes, of course.
Unless you quickly just get one job that one job pay off. You get a good enough job.
Yeah.
Question to you. Marcus, right?
Yes.
You mentioned you're on the SS 119, right?
Yeah.
Which is for building survey.
Yes.
Building
Well, for facade measurement, yeah. Building
so
facade.
facade measurement, there's two. One is I think is about the smaller thing like the signatures. Right? The other thing is about the defects. As a summary, So which one do you suggest to use your normal day facade inspection?
Actually, based on that documents, right, there is actually basic requirements already. They say that it required to have minimum 320 by 240 resolution. So of course, this thermal camera can meet most of it already. So this exceed the requirements basically. And on top of that, they also mentioned about the field of view. Well, that one is, for the standard lens, you can actually do it already. But the thing is, the facade measurement, right, documents, they only says that what camera minimum can be done. But using this one, with the additional telescopic lens, is the perfect choice already.
Okay, so your recommendation, so in other words, you're saying that this model with a good lens
Yes.
will be more suitable for facade inspection.
Yes, correct.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. But all in all, right, even you use the basic lens, it can actually meet most of the requirements already. Unless you are seeing
In fact,
so
they have
far
not
away.
really firm up the standard, but the basic recommendation now is standard camera is good.
Yeah.
So side story why I asked this, just sharing, because my line is we do electrical maintenance as well as building. So a lot of time, why I came to this course is actually reason is I got a lot of team charging me external and internal team charging me or the company a lot of money for facade and pictures inspection. But I read your report, so I dabble in the industry for like the last 20 years. So I'm not certified, I know what it's about.
Yes.
A lot of things doesn't make sense. So it's like the facade, you show me this, then it's clearly not pages, but you tell me that there's possible leak from here.
Oh.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense. So I just wondering how come they charge so high, and what is the rationale of they charging so high when it's supposed to be investigative work? Yeah, so that's why I came here to understand.
Means they didn't really investigate, they just give report and then end of story.
Like the first day you met me, right? So we saw some of the images. So the building one, what I asked her is, in order to tell me it's seepage, I think very clearly your camera must show me the beams, right? And where does the seepage come from? Usually from joints. So it's very rare that this seepage comes from joints. So when I look into the infra, I can clearly see it's not focused. It's just differential in temperature, which is natural in the external side. So it doesn't quite make sense. But after the whole inspection, it cost me about $20 because it's a nice story.
That's cheap.
That's
That's cheap. My experience, I'm in the council in the condo.
Yeah.
I'm the chairman also. Nothing to do. At the same time, I'm learning. So recently, because of TR119, my supervisor says, hey, there's a quotation now, we will do inspection. How much is the quotation? Okay. So what are they doing? Oh, they have to control and all that. Oh, manual. I said, why control? Drone lah. Drone, you sit down there, you do all the work very fast. Second quotation came 10 over 1,000. So there's no market price. Seriously, right now it's all by ear, by the confidence of that guy. Whack lah, never mind lah, hantam lah, that kind of mentality is happening now. So I think we are all the guys doing the job also playing by ear. But if they get a job, they're so happy. 31,000 to do what?
I understand. So I just summarize, finish the close this chapter. Because my company are charging people in maintenance doing thermography for infra or stocks. Because that's within our boundary. So we charge very cheap. It's like maintenance service package, $1,000, $2,000 for unbreaker. My boss wanted to go into facade because we are also handling buildings. So we found that yes, you're right. There's a high differential in what they charge, but we believe drone is the way to go.
Yeah.
That's why it's how to load the payload to the drone. Make sure that the guys know how to analyze the picture. Then we're charging correct fee to the client. So I agree with Ivan. Right? So I also encountered I have people charging me $50 for someone who stand at first level shooting a level, then showing me that. So that's something I cannot make sense.
I think we are just all just playing by ear, hoping to get a job by just throwing the figure, like fishing.
But I mean with the TR119, like people like yourself questioning, the current practices, it will probably start to correct itself.
It will naturally correct.
No, I'm not here to scrutinize. I'm here to hopefully get level 2.
Yeah.
So that if I need to understand how we charge, at least I can understand it.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I mean, you also try to make sense as to how you charge, justify the value. We don't mind paying, but it must be justifiable. That's the whole scenario. But if you tell me one guy code 30, one guy code 10, whoa, there's a lot of difference. So I think many of the customers also facing a kind of frustration, the uncertainty, what am I getting, and worst thing is the customers don't understand. They are at their mercy. Right? So some of them say, council members say, okay lah, pay lah. So they're happy lah, but they get paid. But unfortunately, I'm sitting there, so I'm not paying 20K. Right. So that's the scenario. Okay, guys, any more questions for Marcus? So next time, I think maybe no need level 1 already with the AI coming in like that, maybe talking to you some more. That is a fear.
The AI is good. Hey, focus lah.
The focusing is
I
out.
say AI focus for you already.
Any questions? We have a lot more practical tomorrow. Okay. So far so good?
No more questions. Let's thank Marcus for
Yeah.
coming down and for
Thank
sharing
you.
so much. Of course, if you still have more questions, you probably think of more questions.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I need more. Man.
Okay, can get for you. No, they scan already, ma. Yeah, well, I want Marcus come and demo only. No one else. Okay, thanks guys. Yeah. Appreciate it.